Yo, what is up guys, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Now today we're actually going to be looking at my university results. So now for us medics, it was quite fortunate in the sense that our exams were formative, which meant that they didn't actually count towards our end of year 2 grade. Nonetheless, I tried to take these as serious as possible, so I thought I'd make a reaction video to my results. Now our exams actually consisted of 3 parts. So the first part was an OSPE, the second bit was a written paper which was composed of our basic clinical sciences as well as this thing called PPD and CPH, which are kind of to do with professionalism. Now, unlike most courses which are graded like first, 2-1, 2-2 and so on, medical school is a bit different in the sense that it's just a straight pass or fail. I won't go into the different weightings of the paper, but in essence you basically needed 53% to pass component 1, which was composed of our OSPE exam, so the DR thing that you guys always see me doing in my study with me, and then you needed 54% in the PPD and CPH thing that, like, no one really takes that seriously because you don't have to learn as much, but it's a separate component, so you actually have to pass it, which is proper snaky. I think it's just a way of them making sure that we actually revise it. Now that's enough waffling from me. I've actually got my results here. I'll put the screenshot up on the screen so you guys can like follow along if you like. But basically I got 55% in my BCS, 60% in my OSPE, and those basically made up together component 1 of my exams. So overall I got 56% based on the weighting, which I kind of scraped component 1, which isn't great, but for first semester I think it's alright considering how much I was going out and just, you know, having fun. Now for component 2, which was the PPD/CPH bit, the pass mark was 54% I believe, and I got 56, which is again we're cutting it thin, but it's a pass nonetheless. I got 5 out of 5 for 2 of the questions, and then the other 3 questions I just didn't know what they were on about, and somehow I managed to get 1.5 marks out of 5 for I think 2 of them. So overall I passed both components of the exams. Now that you're aware of my actual results, I thought I'd talk about like the different sections just for a tiny bit at the end of the video. The first component I'd like to talk about was my OSPE. Now I think I explained earlier on in the video, but in case I cut it out, that's basically when you have to go into a room, there's loads of cadavers, and then they stick a needle into different parts of the body and you have to identify it. So for example, okay, I'll use one of the really easy examples. There was like a skeleton and there was a needle pointing at the angle of Louis, which is like the manubriosternal joint, and so, you know, you answer the manubriosternal joint as one of the options. That was the easy question. Yeah, a lot of the questions were there was one question with like a brain, and like I saw the brain and I was like, nah, I don't know where I was going with that at all, to be fair. 1 week before the exam though, there was actually a mock exam, and basically I thought I'd done like a decent amount of work, and then I went into the exam, into the mock exam that is, and I didn't know jack, and then the people next to me were like getting it right, and I was just like, rah, like I'm behind. So like the following week I just spent like banging out the DR book that they gave us and just making sure I memorized literally everything. The issue with that is that I didn't have anywhere near as much time as I would have hoped to revise for like my science papers. So basically in the exam, fam, I didn't have a clue about what I was literally guessing every other question I guessed. And the worst part is, like, I made so many flashcards, but I just didn't go through them. As for the PPD/CPH paper, there was actually 5 questions, each worth 5 marks. 2 of the questions were literally situational judgment from UK CAT, but the other 3 questions, which were actually based on the lectures and to do with, I think, like stigma or something, I didn't know what they were on about, and so I just started chatting rubbish. I feel like CPH/PPD is something that can get patterned pretty quickly. It's just that I just didn't have enough. I did have the time to do it, but I prioritized the other 2 components. And on that note, that is the end of the video. I hope you guys, you know, found this interesting. It's not been the best results, but I passed. I'm trying to take Stop judging me, yeah? Stop judging me, okay? Follow me on Snapchat, guys, if you haven't already. Hit that subscribe button and follow me on this medical school journey, guys. Let's see if we can graduate. That's the aim. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.
Turn this room, turn it to a